Good afternoon, the 8th day of April, the year being 2024. Welcome to TV47 News. That is our afternoon bulletin. Let us keep you ahead of the curve with the latest news, matters from all the 47 counties. But first, let us have the highlights. More doom and woe on the health front as yet another union joins the strike fray, and governors react in different ways to it. And so, with the clinical officers' strike entering week 2 and the doctor strike continuing for the 4th week, which way Kenya? The spat between National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula and Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya boils to a new temperature. Who will blink first? And the record spins again as the celebrated DJ at the center of a murder probe is released from custody after a 2-week detention and turns into a state witness.
We shall continue to evaluate the evidence that the prosecution is relying on. As you've seen, the prosecution has already even contradicted itself here, while it is still sticking on the phones of the so-called witnesses. It is still sticking on the vehicle belonging to the so-called witnesses, and at the same time alleging that these are state witnesses.
Good afternoon once again. Welcome on board. This is TV47 News Now, our afternoon's news bulletin. My name is Moige William. Always appreciative of your company. Now, let us keep you up to speed. Starting off our broadcast, the probe into the distribution of fake fertilizer is picking pace, with President William Ruto breaking his silence into the latest scandal, putting the country's food security at stake, as he warns that stern action will be taken against individuals found culpable, revealing one farm among the 4 contracted in the supply and distribution of the subsidy fertilizer program is under investigation. 8 senior officials at the Kenya Bureau of Standards, KEBS, have been suspended over the fake fertilizer fiasco, with Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mithika Linturi appearing before Parliament over the same.
Tumepanga vizuri. Mambo hii yote ya fertilizer iko sawa sawa. Tuko na kampuni karibu 4 ambayo tunashirikiana pamoja na wao. Kuna kampuni moja iko na kasoro kidogo, lakini tunarekebisha kwa sababu hatutaki mtu achukue nafasi ya kuharibu hii kazi nzuri wakulima wanafanya. Mimi kwanza nataka niwapongeze nyinyi wakulima, kwa sababu nyinyi ndio wazalendo wakuu wa taifa letu la Kenya. Munazalisha chakula yenu na mnatusaidia kulisha Wakenya wengine. So hiyo ni ambayo inafaa sisi wote kama Wakenya kujifunza kutoka kwa. Na mimi nataka niwashukuru Wakenya wengi sasa wamerudi mashambani, wanalima na wanapanda na wanazalisha. Na hiyo ndio maneno ambayo tunataka, ndio hakuna njia ya kufukuza njaa. Kufukuza njaa ni shambani. Maandamano haiwezi kufukuza njaa. Haiwezi kufukuza njaa. Njaa ni nyinyi, watu kama nyinyi, wazalendo kama nyinyi, watu wa bidii. Mtu amelima shamba yake, ametengeneza, amekuja hapa, amepiga foleni, amechukua mbolea, ametafuta mbegu, amepanda, amezalisha chakula.
All right, that is still a developing story that we are still keeping tabs on. In other news, patients who could not afford health services at private hospitals crowded a 1-day free medical camp organized by Rotary Club of Hurlingham in partnership with the Ministry of Health, Nakada, St. Mary's Mission Hospital, among others, at Kikopey Dispensary to receive treatment amid the ongoing doctor strike, as Chichi Josephine now tells us.
There were long queues in evidence as hundreds of patients in Nakuru turned up for free medical camp at Kikopey for much needed treatment amid doctors' strike. Rotary Club of Hurlingham President Majoma Mohammed said the services were vital, especially in the wake of the doctors' strike, which has denied residents access to specialized services, with most patients suffering at home.
We are at already 500 plus patients who have already registered. Part of them have already been seen, the rest are still yet to be seen, and showing that there really is a need for these medical services here at this Kikopey community. A
spot check are the public health facilities in Nakuru, including the Nakuru County Referral Hospital, shows that they were virtually deserted. Beds in the emergency and medical wards remained unoccupied.
Na shida tuko naye mingi hapa au tuko naye ile ya Kikopey ni mambo ya hospitali. Hospitali kuna shida, huwezi kupata daktari anywhere. Hata Nakuru, tumeenda Nakuru tafuta matibabu hakuna, huwezi pata daktari, ni shida tu.
Nimefurahi sana kwa sababu ya hii matibabu. Nimeelekeshwa na ile njia nzuri kutoka niingia kwa gate, kwa line nikapanga line vizuri. Tena nikarudi nikakuja nikaingia kwa daktari wa kwanza na nikafurahi, nikaingia kwa daktari mwingine na nikafurahi na nimepewa madawa.
The medical camp was organized by Rotary Club of Hurlingham in partnership with the Ministry of Health, NACADA and St. Mary's Mission Hospital.
Once you do an impactful project like this or medical camp like this, you really get to feel the need that is there, especially with the ongoing the doctor's strike. So many have felt that it is a need that they really wanted and are seeking that services today.
We've seen quite a number of people with diabetic and hypertension, quite a number of them. We also have people presenting with arthritis.
Chichi, Josephine, TV47.
Thank you, Chichi, for that particular report. Moving on, now Kenya leader Martha Karua has come out to affirm that Azimio One Kenya coalition is still intact and is in fact on a nationwide grassroots strengthening exercise. The comments come in the wake of perceived infighting among members of the Azimio coalition. The Kamwene leader also took the chance to criticize the government's handling of the ongoing doctor strike and the distribution of the affordable fertilizer, which has been marred by cases of fraud and counterfeit fertilizer.
We call out the Ruto regime for the callousness in handling or mishandling the doctors' strike, thereby causing untold suffering and loss of lives of citizens. At the heart of the strike is the plight of intern doctors who are being left to stay unposted and unemployed for over a year and in some extreme cases for 7 years. And when they are posted, they are grossly underpaid. This is happening when our health facilities are seriously understaffed. In other words, we really need the services of the interns who have now not been posted. It's also happening when our health facilities are ill-equipped. The fertilizer scandal is yet another demonstration of callousness of this regime, selling fake fertilizer and seeds which are believed also not to be good enough, therefore fake seeds to farmers, is wishing hunger and death for Kenyans and especially the vulnerable, who are the majority. The fake fertilizer haste suggests a deliberate scheme to lower food production, to increase food insecurity, in order to force starving Kenyans to be at the mercy of food cartels. It is a sadistic act by those entrusted with the task of making the nation food secure. This shows that this regime does not care about its citizens, and its aim is to send Kenya to its deathbed as food.
All right, now let us shift gears. The man at the center of the recent revelation of an apparent saga allegedly involving the Kilifi governor and a corruption deal turned sour has been arraigned in court after his arrest last evening. Jimmy Charles Mureithi, who allegedly published information on a Facebook account, namely Mureithiwa Lucy, claiming that Ms. Lois McKenna swindled Kilifi Governor, that is Gideon Mongaro, 200 million Kenya shillings of ill-gotten wealth. Mureithi appeared in Mombasa Law Court before Senior Resident Magistrate David Odhiambo, who directed that Mureithi remain in custody for 2 days, after which he will be released on a bond of 500,000 Kenya shillings with one surety of a similar amount. The accused person who will also undergo a mandatory mental checkup, the case to be mentioned on Thursday 11th, where further directions will be given.
How many days they require? In the circumstances, I would direct that the accused person to be remanded at the police station for 2 days, after which he will be released on a bond of 500,000 with one surety of similar amount. Accused person to be taken to the hospital as and when necessary. Mention come back on Thursday.
A week after doctors in Elgeyo Marakwet County went back to work after they made a deal with the county government, Nyeri County government has ordered the firing of 59 out of 62 doctors who failed to report back to work by 4th of April. This is in the wake of a countrywide crisis in the health sector precipitated by the doctors and clinical workers strike.
On the 3rd of April 2024, the court reiterated its earlier orders and doctors were ordered to continue working. The county government sent out a letter notifying all doctors on the strike of the court orders and directing them to report to work without victimization on the 4th of April 2024. Pursuant thereto, the county issued 62 show cause letters to doctors who are still on strike, and only 3 have responded, with the rest continuing to abscond from duty. The consequence of these actions has been untold suffering and death to the residents of the county of Nyeri, with a clear inhibition to the right of health or right to health. The government is now left with no option but to take action against the doctors on strike, and I hereby instruct the Department of County Public Service Management and the County Treasury to immediately stop salary processing and payment to the affected doctors. Number 2, thereafter we shall move to the summary dismissal of all doctors who continue to be on strike. Finally, I would want it made very, very clear here that negotiations on matters of a collective bargaining agreement with the county government of Nyeri employees shall be handled at the county level between the Public Service Board, the relevant departments and the relevant unions.
Still on matters health and doctor strike and health worker strike, Kenya Union of Clinical Officers alongside healthcare workers and the UHC program stage demos in Nairobi, where they marched from the Ministry of Health offices, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission offices, and later to the Council of Governors offices. A march that proved futile even as they sought the signatures of their petitions from the Health Cabinet Secretary Susan Akomita, SRC Chairperson Lynn Mengich, and the COG Chair Anne Waiguru. The UHC health workers now want the government to put them on permanent and pensionable terms, while at the same time lamenting the reason as to why they have worked for years without proper remuneration. The healthcare sector remains paralyzed as service across level 11, level 4 and level 5 hospital remain halted. The strike has entered its second week today.
From SRC, we were chased like people who don't even belong to the Republic of Kenya. We were chased. We could not even meet Lynn Mengich at the SRC offices. Now we are here at the Council of Governors. We are moving from one office to another. What we need is just a signature from Anne Waiguru and her cohorts to sign that document and let UHC staffs be converted to permanent and pensionable terms.
What we are saying here today is that we reject the advisory of SRC on reduction of salaries for the interns.
All right, away from that, let us again shift gears. Officials from government delivery services have assured residents and stakeholders that the multi-billion multi-purpose mega dam project is on course to be completed by December this year. Peter Kitheka, the GDS infrastructure cluster lead, says although the project had faced various challenges during the phase one, the government remains keen in addressing the Ukambani water shortage. The county commissioner on his side said they have agreed, or rather had agreed, with the contractor to work overtime to compensate for the time lost.
For a whole day, we have asked the contractor to hasten. There are challenges here and there, but as government and me as the chair, the county commissioner, will ensure that those challenges are addressed. We have also agreed with the contractor and the project engineer that they hasten the project, because this project, as you know, touches on the hearts of the people of Lower Eastern. And therefore, as government, we are ready to make sure that everything goes on as on schedule. As I've said again, we have challenges here and there, but we are addressing them amicably.
We made a technical visit, and the visit was to debottleneck issues that have affected this project. We realized that this project has suffered a 2-year delay, and we are here to ensure that we resolve all those issues like the county commissioner has just spoken to. We want to ensure that we meet the deadline that is on December this year. Because this project is at the heart of the president, the heart of the people of Makueni, the government of Makueni, and to also support the people of Kenya in terms of socio-economic benefit. We realize that this area is water short, and this project will go a long way in ensuring that people find water, because we are believing that indeed water is life.
All right, 15 minutes past the top of the hour. Let us take a short commercial break, but do keep it TV47. More news on the other side of the break.
Na safari hii katika Mfahamu Kiongozi tutakuletea viongozi aina mbalimbali.
Nikuwe na Nisani kama 10 na pia nikuwe menua minibus. Minibus niko niwa.
Kushinda unaangalia simu ya mzee. Soma Biblia ama ingia kwa washroom ujisugue. Mpaka nimetoa hivi.
I don't know whether any of my children would want to get into the political field. Sijajua bado.
Kila Alhamisi saa 1:30 kuendelea.
Join us on a journey through the concrete jungles and rising skylines, where every beam, every nail tells a story of progress and vision.
In every aspect of life, you know, you have to look at several dynamics.
From groundbreaking.
Nowadays with the tech, you can check on different websites or you check online and you can see some inspiration. So at least that one would be a direction already. I'll know like what kind of style you're going for.
To finishing touches, witness the dedication of the hard-working teams who bring these ambitious dreams to reality. The Realtor, Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m.
Welcome back and thank you for keeping it TV47. This is TV47 News Now. Time to bring you up to speed, and we have been doing so for the past 18 minutes or so. Now, moving on, the National Transport and Safety Authority, that is NTSA, now says more than 1,200 people have lost their lives on Kenyan roads between January and April 3rd this year, increasing the number significantly compared to last year's same time frame. And as Micah Gwongo reports, mental health amongst long-distance drivers has been attributed to major cause of accidents recently reported in the country. NTSA says the Northern Corridor has a high accident rate, which is why there are so many fatalities recorded there.
In addition to leaving thousands of others with permanent impairments that serve as a constant reminder of their near-death experience, road accidents have caused enormous anguish to many families across the nation, leaving children orphaned, others widowed, and entire families without their primary provider. According to the damning report from the National Transport and Safety Authority NTSA, 1,213 deaths were reported on Kenyan roads between 1st January and 3rd of April 2024, compared to 1,146 in 2023, representing an increase of 67 fatalities and an increase of 5.8%. The latest data from NTSA also shows that as of 3rd of April 2024, pedestrians led in fatalities at 445, compared with 379 recorded last year. The majority of the fatalities were pedestrians, followed by motorcyclists at 283, passengers at 259, pillion passengers at 103, drivers and pedal cyclists. NTSA Programs Director Samuel Musumba says fatality numbers increase with the rise in cases of mental health amongst long-distance drivers, leading to unexpected accidents day in, day out.
But we still do the same mistakes that you saw somebody who did that and actually died. We cautioned the drivers that right now it's raining. Roads are very slippery. You can't see very well, so just be careful.
When you have a driver who is healthy mentally, then you automatically have a happy driver and you finally have a happy customer.
Speaking during long-distance truck drivers and operators in East Africa training on road safety here in Nairobi Sunday, Officer commanding the Axle Load Enforcement and Highways Unit Senior Superintendent of Police John Gishohi said compared to overloading cases, careless and overspeeding cases amongst the drivers also attributed to rising numbers of accidents in the country.
Sometimes the driver could be fatigued, sometimes the driver didn't observe the traffic signs. Others maybe maybe there could be the condition of the road or the condition of the weather.
Safety first, safety last. It's with you, the driver. I mean, you are the main road user, so first of all you should be aware of the asset you have.
The primary causes of accidents and injuries were also identified as drunk driving, failing to wear seatbelts or helmets, and pedestrians crossing the streets unsafely.
Hizi ajali zimekuwa zimeshuhudiwa hii wakati, nitasema ni fatigue. Mtu ameendesha gari kwa muda mrefu, hajapata nafasi nzuri ya kupumzika, so unaona ile akili yake inakuwa iwezi kafanya kazi vizuri kwa sababu akona ule uchovu.
NTSA warned school heads allowing their school buses to travel past stipulated time frame, cautioning that the law will take its course. Mike Kagwango, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Mike, for that. Safety first, safety last. Elsewhere, a family in Nyatwere village, Homa Bay County, are reeling in shock following the tragic death of 3 of their kin who were electrocuted to death. The fatal incident occurred when 2 brothers were trying to save their sister-in-law who was electrocuted while hanging clothes to a hanging line connected to a roof, which electric currency was flowing through it due to a wire that was left naked touching that particular roof. Well, this is a report that I prepared for you earlier. Take a look. Grief and shock is what greets you at his home, which has lost 3 of their family members to an unfortunate incident that claimed the lives of 3. The three include two brothers, 31-year-old Elijah Ochieng, 35-year-old Isaiah Onyango, and their sister-in-law, 30-year-old Lavenda Otieno, who were fatally electrocuted.
Huyo shemeji wangu hakujua ya kwamba kuna umeme ambaye inakimbia kwa hiyo paa ya nyumba, sababu hilo kamba alikuwa akianika nguo kila mara. Kwa bahati mbaya kulikuwa na chemichemi, manake mvua ilikuwa imenyesha. Wakaenda wakamsaidia, kujaribu kumsaidia, walikuwa na mguu mtupu. Kwenda kushika huyo shemeji wangu, basi mwingine akaanguka. Wapili tena kuja kujaribu kusaidia wenzao, pia wakaanguka. Sasa wote watatu wakafa mali moja.
Blamed for the loss of the three lives is an electrician who is accused of leaving a naked wire that touched the roof of the house where the hanging line was attached to it. The incident happened as Otieno was hanging clothes before being electrocuted, with the two brothers coming to her aid only to meet their death.
Ni yule tu ambaye alikuwa anamfanyia wiring ndiye alifanya jambo, ndiye alitenda makosa, manake wakati alipokuwa akifanya wiring akawacha waya umeme ikiwa imening'inia kwenye paa la nyumba. Na hilo paa la nyumba kulikuwa na kamba ya kuanika nguo ilifungwa kwa hiyo paa la nyumba kwenda kwa mti nyingine.
There's somebody who had been contracted to come and do wiring. And this is a quack electrician. And then he did some shoddy job. As a result, there was a lapse.
Confirming the incident, the area chief Jacob Adienge attributed that the incident could have been avoided, alleging that the said electrician was not qualified enough to handle the task given.
Any sort of wiring, matters of wiring, we should engage professionals, those who are licensed and those